France is not like Greece. Everyone in France speaks French, and very few people speak English from what I've observed. So, in order to get by, it's really important that I speak the language. I was able to live in Greece without learning Greek because most Greek people are duolingo or bilingual. What do you call it? Most Greek people speak both Greek and English, so it's easy to get by. But that is not the case in France. In France, if you're going to be here for a while, you have to be able to speak the language. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel if you're returning, and if it's your first time here, my name is Faye. I'm feeling real comfortable right now. I decided to stay indoors and do a sit down with you and talk about something that's on my mind. So if it's your first time, again, my name is Faye and this channel is all about travel, tales, trips, tips, inspiration. And if you're not subscribed, click the subscribe button. It's the red button below this video. And also make sure your notifications are turned on such that you know every time I upload a new video. So this is one of those where I want to give a few tips, a few suggestions, and it's about something that has been heavy on my mind ever since I got to France. I'm in Bayonne in the south of France, and since I got here, this has been something on my mind probably even before I got here, because I've always been interested in the French language. So as you can tell from the title of this video, I'm going to be sharing my journey on learning French as a beginner. I am by no means fluent in French. I am a beginner as well, but I have learned a few things here and there, and I've gotten a lot of advice both from research online and from people here in France. And I wanted to share that with you. So just 4 quick tips or ways in which you can learn French. Okay, so the first way is, I guess, the most obvious one, which is paid lessons, or some sort of like formal lesson, some formal mode of instruction where you have a tutor. It could be one-on-one lessons or it could be group classes. I started learning French actually in high school in Uganda from my S1, which is from about 13 years old to 16 years old, which is S4. I did French as a subject, and that was my very first introduction to the language. We learned the basics. We learned like greetings, conjugation of verbs, and I can't remember what else, but we did learn some French. And I always loved the language. I loved how it sounded, and I always imagined actually visiting France. So yeah, that's just a side note, but yeah, it really is important. It's really interesting how you know, we put things out there, we manifest, and then they sometimes happen. So yes, back to what I was talking about. Paid lessons is one way in which you can learn French. That was the first way I started, and I think it's a very useful way because it gives you like the basics and the structures. You know, some people are good at picking up languages. They just pick up languages by hearing. I'm not one of those people, and so it's good to have like structured lessons where you're taught the basics, you're taught how to construct sentences, how to construct in the past tense, the present tense, the future tense, and things like that. So paid lessons, if you can, are a good place to start. And there's so many options, like I mentioned, both online and also classroom type options. So the second thing that I would advise is to utilize free tools. There's so many free tools online. YouTube is a great resource. You can just put in the search bar what you're looking for and find lessons. There's a channel I'm subscribed to. It's called Learn French with Alexa. I found her really useful. She gives short lessons on different topics, vocabulary, conjugation of verbs, passé composé, which is past tense, like all of the stuff. Some of the stuff that I said you can get from the paid lessons, you can get from her as well. So I've been using Learn French with Alexa. There are also so many other tools, like free apps that you can use, like Duolingo. I used that for a little bit and then I stopped, and I started using another one called Innovative Languages. They also have French lessons on there that are really useful. So it's just important to find the tools that work for you and commit to them. It has to be like a daily thing, and I'm going to get more into that in my last point. So definitely utilize the free tools, YouTube, apps. I've mentioned the ones that I use, but you guys might have some others as well. And actually, do let me know in the comments down below. I'd love to check out the apps that you recommend or what has helped you. So make sure you do drop your tips down below. so that we can help each other. You know, you might have something, you might be able to hook me up. And so yeah, definitely use the free tools. My third tip then would be to immerse yourself in the language. Because I'm in France, I really am trying my best to take advantage of this opportunity to just immerse myself in the language, to speak the language as much as I can, to listen to people speak the language, just walking around, asking people for directions, walking into a shop. Sometimes I walk into a shop with no intention of buying anything, but I just want to practice my French with the shop attendants. And because, like I mentioned, no one speaks English, it's a great opportunity. So I'll just walk in and I'll look around and I'll ask, how much does this cost? Or I'll ask for something, but I'm just really trying to see, okay, can I speak? Do they understand what I'm saying? You know, and I always start with like a little apology, you know, je suis désolée, je ne parle pas bien français, or something like that, so that they know. And then, you know, with that, I get more confidence to just immersing myself in that way. Another way to immerse yourself, and this can help if you're not in France or if you're not in a French-speaking country, is watching a lot of French TV, watching series in French. I found some series on YouTube as well, which I'm watching, and I'm going to link all of this information in the description box down below so that you guys can check it out. But I have found some like just short like comedy like series and things like that. So whenever I can, not whenever I can, I always try my best to watch as much French TV as possible. Why I say try my best is because I do get caught up sometimes, I'll be honest. I'm trying to do a lot right now, but I also have to be very intentional about listening to the language to improve my comprehension and also speaking the little that I do know. Podcast is also another way, you know, as you're jogging, as you're walking around, just constantly listening to the language and getting familiar with the sound, the pronunciations and things like that. So yeah, immerse yourself, whether you're in a French-speaking country, and even if you're not, use TV, series, YouTube, podcasts. There's just so much out there, guys. Okay, so that brings me to my last tip. The fourth and final one would be to practice, practice, practice. Everyone will tell you this, and it goes in line with what I just said earlier about immersing yourself. You have to practice. You can't speak a language if you don't speak the language, if that makes any sense. I think one of the reasons why children pick up languages so quickly is because they're not afraid of failure. They're not afraid of making mistakes. And this has been something I have to always remind myself as well. It doesn't matter if you're not speaking it, if you're not forming the sentences grammatically correctly. It doesn't matter if you don't know all the rules. Just speak. And so I'm really trying to do that as much as I can. And it's only through speaking, and if you're open to just allowing yourself to look like a fool, to speak broken French, you will learn a lot faster. When you speak, you'll be corrected, or you'll realize you'll just learn faster. So you have to practice. Speak to anyone who can speak the language. Speak to your tutor. Just take every opportunity. And I've also realized it takes a lot of training the brain. Because the truth is, sometimes I just get lazy. We get lazy, you know. You want to say a word in French, and maybe you do know that word in French, but it's just easier to say it in English, especially if the person who you're speaking to understands English. So, you know, trying to speak a language that you don't speak takes a lot of, like, you have to be very intentional. You have to try and remember the words. So it takes a lot of work. But it's worth it in the end, because otherwise you just never learn the language. So those are my tips. I hope they help you. Those are for learning French, and I think they can apply to any other language. Take some lessons, utilize the free tools, immerse yourself, listen to as much of the language as you can, and practice. Just speak. Just say bonjour, 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 bonsoir. Whatever it is that you can say, just say it. Just keep saying it as you improve your vocabulary, as you learn more words. I've only been in France about a month, and those are the things that are working for me so far, but I'd love to hear from you. Let me know what you recommend. Give me some tips. How can I learn French faster, especially being someone who doesn't usually pick up languages quickly just from hearing? And so let me know what you think. Like, what can I do? Is this something that you think I should be doing differently? Let me know in the comments down below. I'm all about us sharing and growing together, and you know, just passing on that knowledge and building each other up, and encouraging you all to travel and step out of your comfort zones and learn new things and grow. And now I feel like I'm going on, so just give this video a thumbs up, drop your comment, and I'll see you in my next video. Mwah.